So one of the most common questions that I get is, how did I transform my yard from a taller cut to the now shorter cut that I've got? So let's take a trip down memory lane today and talk about some of the process of how this got transformed. So if you're interested in doing something similar, you'll know what's involved in that. Or if you're just interested in the process of how I completed this, that's exactly what we're gonna go through today. So the first thing that you probably need to know is that a reel mower is going to be the best way to accomplish this shortcut grass. A lot of times when people come by my yard, they don't understand what a reel mower is, or they don't understand how I can possibly get that shortcut and not have everything look scalped. And if you've ever cut your yard short with a rotary mower, you'll know that it doesn't typically work out too well unless you have a super flat ground. But even then, it's difficult to do because you're cutting so close to that grass plant. So a reel mower is the key to do this. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that you have to have a powered reel mower. You can start off with a manual reel mower and kind of get your feet wet and see what you think about it. So keep those things in mind at the beginning. The second important thing that you need to know is that this is not for every single grass type. So for cool season grass, a lot of people that have tall fescue want to know, can you mow it super short? Now there's a lot of the newer varieties that can be taken a little shorter. I haven't had enough time yet to test this personally, but it's something that I'm going to do in the future with tall fescue. But for the most part, if you have a traditional tall fescue yard, this really isn't for you. Now the same thing goes down in the south. If you have St. Augustine grass or one of those grasses that's cut taller like that, then this isn't going to be for you either. So Bermuda grass, zoysia grass down south, or Kentucky bluegrass, perennial ryegrass up here in the north, and of course bent grass, which is used on most golf greens up here in the north. Even though just beyond the grass types, you need to understand that the newest elite varieties have a lot more tolerance to low mowing in most cases, so make sure you check out your grass type that you have. If you have a really old bluegrass lawn or ryegrass lawn, it might be that those cultivars aren't as tolerant of the low mowing. So that's what we're going to get into later when we talk about how I transformed mine by doing some renovation, adding in some of the better grass cultivars. So step one to this process is obviously just going to be cutting the grass shorter. So this seems pretty common sense to most people, I'm sure, but you'll notice right away that the grass is not as tolerant of it, especially if you had your grass up near 3 inches, over 3 inches, and you go down to something like an inch cut, somewhere around there. It's not going to look very good at the beginning, I can assure you of that. So you have a couple choices here. You can gradually take your grass down over a period of many weeks, little by little, kind of let it get used to that cut as you're going down. That's one approach. The second approach would be to go all in right away. Take your head of cut all the way down, even slightly lower than where you want to be. So maybe you want to be at 3/4 of an inch. You take that down to a 1/2 inch, and then you're going to raise the mower back up to 3/4 of an inch for your mows after that. It'll start to get used to that over time as well, but it's obviously going to look very bad at the beginning. So make sure you're prepared for having a fairly decent yard, maybe now at 3 inches. Going all the way down like that is going to be shocked and not look very good. So step two, as part of that lowering of the cut, you need to thin out the grass. So as soon as you go from a high cut to a low cut, you're going to notice that near the surface there's a lot of spongier, dead material. You need to remove all of that stuff, and you need to thin it out enough so that the mower can go through and get a clean cut on the grass. Once you do this and you remove some of that, you're going to notice that it cuts much better, and you're going to be resetting the height there so the plant understands to not grow tall anymore, but to start shooting out the leaves off of the plant to go more sideways and training the plant at that height that you want it to be. So when I first started reel mowing, I didn't really know what approach to take, so I think I went to around 1.25 inches, and I tried to stay there for a little while, then I tried to go down a little bit. I really didn't have a great plan, and so my yard the first year kind of struggled to figure out what I was doing with it, and it didn't adapt very well. So I would say make sure that you have a better plan than I did, and either gradually take that down, or go all in at the beginning, thin it out, and then go ahead and start really consistently mowing at the height that you want to be at. So that brings us to step 3, which is going to be the recovery phase, and what things that you need to be looking at and thinking about after you do that cut down to a lower height. So recovery, it's hard to say exactly how long that's going to take for your specific situation, but know that it is going to take a matter of weeks, maybe even more than a month. Depends on how high you were and then how low you decided to go all at once on how long that's going to take for recovery, but it's definitely going to take some time. So give it some time to learn that new height. Be mowing very consistently now. The thing that people need to understand when you go to a lower height of cut is that you need to be mowing pretty much at least every other day. Sometimes you can stretch it to 3 days, but for the most part for me, it's every other day. Sometimes during the periods of time during the year where the grass is growing very vigorously. It's an everyday mow. So you have to understand that you need to be committed to that. You can't just decide, yeah, I want to do real mowing, and then you let your grass go for a week or 10 days. It's just not going to work out. You need to be consistent with your mowing. After you've brought the height of cut down as well and you're in that recovery phase, would not be a bad idea to do an application of fertilizer, help the grass kind of bounce back and start to grow, and keep up with that mowing at the same time, and then this will help with the recovery phase. And not only do you want to do that fertilizer application, but make sure you're understanding your irrigation and having that dialed in. Now, this has been something over time that's been difficult for me. Sometimes I've had a little too much water on it. Sometimes it dries out. This is something that's going to take a lot of learning, and just you need some experience with it to understand sort of how to dial in your irrigation. So if you don't have a soil probe yet, it's a good way to go take a few cores here and there and see where the moisture levels are at in your soil. But a lot of people think that as soon as you cut it really low, you need to dump a whole bunch of water on it consistently. That's not necessarily the case. If you have a humid climate, or if it's just part of the year where it's typically more humid, like midsummer for us, the water can be stretched a lot longer than you think. So then there's other times of the year though where maybe there's not much humidity, there's a lot of wind, then the yard will really start to dry out faster, and you just have to use your eyes and kind of make a decision on how much water to put down without overwatering, which can cause some fungus issues. So step 4, I wanted to talk about managing your expectations going forward. So on this first year, and you're first starting to learn how to reel mow, you can't expect that everything is going to be perfect. There's a lot of experience that you need in order to figure out how to kind of play this game with cutting your grass really short. Don't be frustrated when you don't know everything at the beginning. There's a lot of time to learn this stuff. Specifically with fertilizer, I recommend going to a spoon feeding program. So what I do is I spray low amounts of fertilizer every 2 weeks on my low cut turf. Sometimes in between there, I'll have an application of micronutrients, but you need to go to a program of lower amounts of fertilizer more often, or it's going to be difficult to control the growth on this low cut turf. Same thing goes with your irrigation strategy, as I just talked about in the previous step. If you don't have an irrigation system, it's going to be slightly more difficult. I didn't have one though for the first couple seasons of real mowing, and it's definitely still possible to do. If you haven't seen my DIY sprinkler system that I used for many years before I had any irrigation system in the ground, check that out as a way to do some watering. Then it comes to fungicides, which depends again where you live. Some people out west who have a dry climate don't have to worry about this as much, but here in parts of the country where it does get humid and hot during the middle of the summer, especially as you get into the transition zone, you're definitely going to want to start to learn about fungicides, some prevention of things. Otherwise it can be pretty difficult to deal with if you have a major outbreak of fungus, and it can really take over a yard depending on what's going on condition wise. So that's a whole video to itself, honestly, more than I can dive into right here, but know that a fungicide program is going to be something that you're going to have to look into if you live in a more humid and warm climate during the summer. Step 6, I think, is planning for some future renovation, or at least some leveling work. So once you start to reel mow, a lot of the questions that people have is, how level does my yard actually have to be? And really at the beginning, especially if you have dual rollers, then it doesn't have to be as level as you think it does. You can probably get down to about 3/4 of an inch without doing much scalping. That's about the spot where I was, but it's just not as much fun to mow when it's not very level. So that's where you have to start planning on leveling projects, or as I did, a full lawn renovation, to kind of understand what it was going to be like to go from a higher cut to a lower cut, and do it with the best grass types and with a full renovation. So I have multiple videos over the years if you want to just decide to do some top dressing, which I've done in my front yard many times and just overseeded that. I've never completely done a full renovation there. Then eventually I moved into last year doing sand top dressing to do the leveling process. So again, those are steps that if you'd like to dive into more about how to level your yard, then I have multiple videos on that really dive into those subjects more than I can do here on this video. But do plan for either some renovation work so you can put in the greatest grass cultivars that you can find that are really tolerant of low mowing, or you're probably going to want to do some leveling work over time so that it's much more enjoyable to mow. And the last step is to mow that yard with those wonderful stripes. Take a step back at it and look at all of your hard work and realize not a whole lot of people have gone through this entire process and consistently are able to mow and do all the fertilizing and everything that you need to do with low cut turf in order to make it look good, and also to make it look good during the difficult parts of the year, like midsummer here where I'm at. So if you've done all those steps, then be very proud of what you've been able to accomplish. And if you're still learning, which I'm still learning every single day some new things about how to take care of this turf, but if you just keep working hard at it, I guarantee you, you're going to see your results in the end. I hope that gave you some info today on how I transform my yard from a higher cut to a lower cut. If you have some questions, leave them down in the comment section below. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.